How are you today? I'll be gone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, I just realized I made this bigger and I probably need to make it smaller. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the call today, guys. I am your host, Raquel May David, with my co-host, David Sanchez. I'm so happy you guys came in. David, can you hear the music in the back?
I hear like a little bit of noise.
Just a little bit. Hey,
Nothing.
Alexa, pause. No problem. Like, if y'all can't hear it, it's not gonna hype y'all up like it's hyping me up. But thank you for coming in tonight. I am so happy that you guys are here with us. Let me go ahead and share my little screen over here while everyone comes on in. Let me go ahead and get this here. All right, guys, I'm so happy that you guys are here. We wanted to go ahead and open the room. We will be starting promptly right about 8:05. I'd like to do 8:10 to give people time to come into the space right now. So if you guys have any questions, I'd like to kind of open the floor for any QA before we get started. So if you guys have questions, concerns, comments, or having any hiccups, this is kind of a free space for you to get those questions answered. No, why am I being active? There we go. While we're waiting for everyone to kind of pile in, I do see some new faces and some new names. Famous, welcome to the room. Miss Elizabeth Mann, welcome to the room. iPhone, I'm not quite sure who you are, but thank you for blessing us with your presence on today, honey. Let me make sure I have everything here. Participants. All right. Any questions, concerns, comments? And while we are waiting, you guys, I'm showing you guys the room for the Dispute Panda community. If you are not already in here, definitely want to go ahead and get signed up, whether you're using the pro or you're using the free. Twan, is it T1 or is it Twan? Gather me.
Hello, it's Twan.
It's Twan. Okay. Hey, Twan. Welcome to the room.
Hey.
Do you have any questions, concerns before we open up the floor? While we're taking inventory, please drop an emoji in a comment if you have the Dispute Panda. One emoji if you have the Dispute Panda product. 2 emojis if you have the product and you sent out your first round of letters. Let me know. So excited to be here on this fine Monday, y'all. It's a little chilly out where I'm at. No questions for anyone in the room so far? Hey, Miss Clark, welcome. Mr. Gary, welcome to the room. So happy that you're here. Okay, Elizabeth says she has the platform and she has sent out her first round of letters. Last one, Elizabeth, are you in the Dispute Panda community? If not, David will drop the link so you can sign up for the community. Awesome sauce. Twan gave me a thumbs up. So that's a thumbs up. You've sent a round of letters and you have the platform, or you just have the platform? But Gary gave me 1 thumbs up, so I'm guessing he has the platform. Gary, you haven't sent out a letter as of yet? No? Okay, so this is a free space. Hey, Pete, welcome to the room. If you guys have any questions or concerns before we get dived on in, when will I know when is my turn for the second round? Letters go out every 35 days from the last time the last round went out. So if you did the last letter, let's say you did it on the 1st of March, but you didn't physically mail it to the 5th, my recommendation is to start counting on the 5th, because that's when you officially mailed the letter. And then you're going to send out the next round of letters 35 days later. Great question. Dispute Panda only tracks the time. It does not alert you. You have to monitor that yourself. So Dispute Panda will count down and say when's the last time you sent out the last round of attacks, and you would be able to see if it's outside of that 35-day window. Great question. But it doesn't prompt you to send a letter. That is something that you have to do yourself. Some people use calendar. My system that I use that sends the email marketing and stuff like that to my clients, that particular software has a counter. So every time I send out a round of letters, it automatically sets a task for me. So you might want to use your calendar if that works better, if you're doing it just for yourself or if you're doing it for your family. Ms. Clark says, hey, I'm back again. I've been in the group for a while. I just have so much on my plate. I'm going to try and stay focused. We are here for you, honey. No worries at all. Gregory, I see that you have your hands up. You can come off of mute anytime and ask whatever questions you need.
How you doing? I got 2 questions. One of my questions is I have 2 credit cards. What's the first attack I should go to with dealing with credit cards? And when should I send them out? Like should I send like separate letters? Should I send it with the hard inquiry letters? What's the first step should I take on the attack?
Okay, that is a great question, Gregory. And I'm actually going to get into letters once we dive into the platform. And I do have one major question before, and I'm going to answer that question, but I'm going to circle back to it. Okay, I promise. First question I have for you, Gregory, is did you download the attack flow guide?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. We will cover that in a moment, and that way I'll be able to answer all of those questions. So those specific questions about what letter first or when do I send the letters out, I'll be able to answer that. I'm going to actually show that once we start talking about the actual platform. So hang tight. I'll answer that question. Do you have another question besides the letter question?
Okay, so how would you do an attack on a BK?
That's still a letter question.
That's still a letter question?
That's still a letter question. Yep. So I'll be able to go over the letters. Now, I do want to take a brief moment since you're asking questions. I want to clarify that this particular call is specifically to cover the actual process of how to dispute with the world's most advanced AI-generated software, which is Dispute Panda. If you are looking to dispute a little bit more in depth, I do want to be transparent. I have created a course. We do have a boot camp this Friday and Saturday, where we are going over in-depth processing flows and things that you can do in tandem with the Dispute Panda platform. So I can answer specific questions on the platform, but if you are wanting a more like specific flow base for different things, more integrated, more detailed on how you can aggressively dispute, I will go ahead and drop the link here for you guys to sign up for the boot camp that is going to be Friday and Saturday of this week. However, the system does have a flow. I will be showing you guys the flow. So since everyone's in the room, drop an emoji if you have already downloaded the actual guide that comes with Dispute Panda. I know Gregory says he hasn't. Has anyone else downloaded it? Did you have another question besides that, Gregory?
No, those are 2 questions because I know about the hard inquiries, but the BK and the two like the credit cards, I needed to know how to formulate like a chat, what type of letter I would send out first, the first attack. And
Okay.
that was that was the biggest question.
All right. So I will circle back, and when I get to the letters, I need you to put your hands back up so we can go ahead and dive in if you have more questions after I show that. Great question. I'm so excited that you are here, Gregory, because I'm finna blow your mind real quick. Okay. Elizabeth says, oh wait, no, I already answered Elizabeth's question. I answered Clark. Okay. I'm on my 5th round and I'm getting back verified every time. Okay, so when you say that you're getting back verified, Tuan, can you come off of mute for me? I have 2 questions. One is, so let me clarify, getting verified back every time, are you getting that from the credit bureau or are you getting that from the creditor? That's one question. And the second question is, have you chosen the flow And are you working the flow, or are you picking your own round of letters?
Yeah, I'm actually using the flow, the chart that came with the actual program itself.
Okay.
I typically use the actual the Dispute Panda first round.
Okay.
And I also do the boost, I guess, because I guess the colors of the lettering and everything kind of like points out more errors versus in black and white. So I spend more to do that, and it always just come back as verified.
So question, you're following the actual flow. So you're in round 5 and you've picked
Yes,
different letters each round, is what you're telling me.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Pinwheel.
Okay,
the
so you're using the
Fury.
old attack guide. Are you doing red or blue attack?
I did red and I did blue.
You did red and you did blue. So you don't want to flip back and forth. So pick one and stick with it, because switching back and forth between the red and the blue is going to create a gap for you for transparency. Also, I'm going to show you another method, and I want to go ahead and confirm, because the issue is not them coming back verified. So just for the assumption, you're only sending the letters to the credit bureau, correct? You're not sending it to the creditors.
Yeah, I send it to the creditor as well, and
Okay.
I also do a lot of the method validations,
Okay.
etc. And I'm just getting the same results. I also did the handwriting format to try to be different, so
Gotcha.
it's not seem as though it's a copied format.
Uh-huh.
And I'm also notating in the comments my discretion as far as why I feel as though that the actual account is either inaccurate or need to be removed.
So
So
when
I'm
you
just
say the comments, are you saying the comment box that's listed in Dispute Panda?
in the dispute, yes, in the dispute tab.
Okay, so just for clarification, when you put that comment in there, it will not generate the regular round letters. You are aware of that, correct?
No, I was not, because I never
Yeah,
see the
so
comment when I actually print it out. Anyway,
yeah, so let's look at, I'm gonna show you the system, and I want, when I get to that part, let me know kind of what you're seeing, because normally if you put something in that comment box, it is substituting the letter that you selected. So the only thing that would be printed would be whatever you have systemically put in there. But I would kind of need to know a little bit more about your file, because verification to me is something blanket that they say. So I'll drop my link for you to book a call for us to go over your specific file, because I do think I have a couple ideas, and I'm going to share some of them here, just kind of like as I go through the system, so you can definitely let me know what you think about them. Okay. So
okay,
I'll go ahead and
cool.
dive into that shortly, but thank you so
All right,
much for
thanks.
coming. We're going to dive into
Oh,
this
no
together.
problem. I've been trying to catch this meeting forever, but I set some time to the side
I'm
to
so
make sure
glad
I
you
make
made it
it.
here today. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Famous said, what should we do if the creditor sends back a letter stating that the request is from the third party and they cannot verify? So transparency, there is a stall letter located in the Dispute Panda. I will show you that. I will show that to you guys. So you have the ability to see it, and you can send that back. Because just to confirm, there's nothing in the Fair Credit Reporting Act that says that a third party cannot support you with credit repair. So, excuse me, so that should not be an issue that they stall on whatever is going on with the profile. So I will show you that letter. Famous said the training module, it is the flow guide, and this is the old chart guide. So if you guys are seeing this, I pulled this up because Twan is using the old flow, which is a little bit it was a little bit confusing. So we did maximize and decided to do some beta testing and give you guys some new flows that that way when you come out the gate you can dispute organically. I did drop the link for the boot camp that is this Friday and Saturday, so that we can talk about some other methods and some flows that I recommend when you're dealing with certain cases. So give me 1 second. I see there's a question. That may be the one I need to join. I'm coming from Repair Cloud and was with them for 2.5 years. Oh, gotcha, girl. I was over there too, honey. I understand. How can I obtain the guide? I will show you guys how to get the guide as well. I'm super duper excited. All right, so we kind of got through a couple of stuff. So we're going to dive in. Before I get started, I want to go ahead and tell you, if you're not a part of the community, please, 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 please sign up for the community, guys. It is a free platform. You are able to ask questions. You're able to get support. I'm thinking I want to go ahead and dive in to make sure that we can talk about all the things that are happening with the platform and kind of give you guys the meat and potatoes on what's happening. Okay, so I'm going to start from the top just for transparency. I'm going to cover pricing, training, and contact. The integration in the pro, I'm going to dive into when we actually get into the platform, because I like you to see what's going on for you to know how everything is working in your favor. I want to make sure my do not disturb is on, because they be disturbing me, y'all. They be disturbing me. Okay. So let me get started with pricing. So as you guys know, Dispute Panda is the first pay-as-you-go software that is free to sign up, and you do not have to pay anything monthly in order to be in the platform. You only pay for the rounds of attack if you are not using the Credit Dyno platform. On this call today, I'm going to be showing you how to leverage the platform and not pay for a round of disputes, okay? On this call today, if you are using another credit monitoring software, the videos are in the training platform, and I will show you how to do that. I just want to show you guys how you can do it for the free 99, because you will not have to pay for the round if you are using the Credit Dyno monitoring software. If you are using any other monitoring software, such as Smart Credit, Identity IQ, MyScore IQ, it is $17 a month that you pay for the rounds of dispute. So what that means is that if you have Credit Dyno, every single month you get a free round of attack to go to all 3 credit bureaus. If you have the pro, you are able to send letters to the creditors as well. Okay. If you have the pro, it is $1 for 14 days. After that, it's $197, and the pro gives you the ability to have discussions with your clients in the Safe Client portal. It also gives you integration accessibility, a contract. It gives you a host of really cool things, and I'm going to show you guys some of the bonus features that are in there once we actually get in the platform, because one of the things that I love to do is share my actual post as far as whenever I have an update that has been done with my clients and their score has increased. I love to share that information. So you can do the pro monthly, or you can pay for the pro for the full year. You get 2 months for free. And it does give you some integrations that I'll show you once we get into the platform about, okay? The training tab. The number one question that I saw in the chat that kind of came through a couple of times was, what guide was I talking about? So I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about, can we actually get a real view of everything during the trial period? That is a great question, Ms. Clark. During the trial period, you're getting full access to the platform. So it's not like it's capped off and you're not able to touch certain things. No, once you upgrade to pro, for that $1 for that 14 days, that whole 14 days, you're getting access to everything. The major differences between the pro and the free, I'm going to show you, but it's really cool. So hang tight. I promise you, I'm going to show you that in a moment. But one of the questions they had was, how can I get the guide? That was the number one question that I've seen so far. If you guys do not know, when you click training, we give you the free guide, up to date, tested, as to what you need to send out. When are you sending it to the creditor? When are you sending it to the third-party service provider? Like, it's giving you the meat and potatoes of what you need to do for your flow. So if you're like, I don't know what letter to pick, like Mr. Gregory said, I don't know what letter should I pick if I have a charge off, a repo, a bankruptcy, doesn't matter. This has been the beta tested flow that has come back, and it has been successful to get increases. The reason that some people are seeing a gap in what's going on, just for transparency, was people were not sticking to a flow. So when they had the red attack or the blue attack, to my question that I asked earlier was like, hey, are you doing one flow all together or are you jumping around? If you're jumping around and you are not tracking, and I think that a lot of times people, especially when we're new into the business, we get a little sidetracked sometimes because we're trying to find an effective method to kind of make things shift and make things change. So because the first flow gave you multiple options, we went back in because so many people were confused. Some people didn't want to have to pay for certified mail. So we tested this particular flow to make sure that it was going to be in agreement with our standards of actually seeing results for any file. So whether you have charge off, repos, bankruptcies, eviction, this is a standard flow that you can use for any single profile and get results on your profile. And I have no problem sharing some of my my results because I actually use the same flow. Let me see if I have any. Give me 1 second because I do download some stuff, but y'all, I posted and I keep on going, honey. So y'all gotta forgive me. Hold on, let me open up my Canva because I like to put it in there. 1 second. So when we are talking about improvements and changes to scores, hold on, I'm gonna bring my Canva over. So this was a score that I was able to get for one client that was with me. I have this other score that I'm getting for another client, and I post everything, good, bad, indifferent. I post it. A lot of people say, well, why do you post the scores? And this is something that you get, the score review that I just showed you guys, that's something that you get to see when you have the pro version, right? And the reason why I post good, bad, or indifferent is because a lot of people don't understand that the behaviors is going to dictate what the numbers are going to say on the back end. I can write letters all day. I can get things deleted. I can get things removed. I can get things updated to positive. But if you're not understanding that there's a dual dance that's going on, it's going to create an upheaval in the process. So once we get into the software, I'm actually going to give you a small piece of what my consultation looks like so you guys can kind of hear the flow a little bit. And that way you can have an idea of the other things that need to go on when we're doing the credit repair salsa dance, okay? So what if you use multiple flows? Can you correct the sequence and method to get results you want and reset after a while? So what I would suggest, that's a great question, Twan. What I would suggest if you're using multiple flows is first pick one. I personally used to use the blue attack all the time. I followed the blue attack flow, and I just kind of stayed working that file until we completed the beta testing for this profile. Transparency, I don't care what no one does. Round 6, I always do the paralyzed touch attack, even with this new flow. That letter, just for me, it's the season. I feel like it just moves things for me. So no matter what flow I'm using, round 6 is always paralyzed touch attack for me. With that being said, yes, you can still recover, but what I would definitely say is see what you have been able to do from before. I think a lot of times when we're going through the credit repair process, we don't look at the changes from one credit report to the next. You're looking for clear deletions, or you're looking for specific accounts to be removed. As a credit repair consultant, my goal is to make sure that I'm getting you the cleanest file as possible, right? But I'm not stuck on just one thing. I've had a client where bankruptcy, for one client, I was able to get bankruptcy removed in round 1. For another client, I wasn't able to get bankruptcy removed until round 7, right? So no file is going to be a simple, easy fix for you to get through. But there is a level of aggression that kind of has to happen when you're going through the flow. But I think if you are skipping from one flow to the next, one of the things that you have to do is take a look at what shifts and changes have happened from month to month to month. Not just them saying they're verifying the account, because 9 times out of 10, they're verifying that account. And when I say they, the credit bureaus are verifying their account with the Oscar system, their internal systems, they're not verifying it with the creditors. That's why I always ask, are you also sending the letters to the creditors? And if you guys are not using Credit Dyno, y'all are not getting the right letters to go to those creditors. So I'm about to show you. Real quick. So all you would have to do, Twan, in your particular case, you're already at round 5. I normally tell people that if you're going to start the new flow, to start from the beginning at round 1 on whatever that new flow is, so you can track your success. But I definitely want you to piggyback and kind of go back a little bit and see what you have been able to successfully remove off of your credit profile in totality. Great question. So if you guys, wanted to say this again. If you guys are using the platform, you want to go ahead and click on the free download. It's giving you the attack guide. You download it, you save it on your computer. You can literally go ahead and figure out how to dispute with no knowledge just off of this. Now, the actual training guide gives you all of the meat and potatoes. Myself and David are here Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Howsoever, if you are like me and working at 2:30 in the morning because I can't sleep, don't judge my life, y'all. You can come here if you're having a problem, and you can go ahead and look at the training. If you're like, oh, I know Raquel said something, but I don't remember what it was, you can literally come here and find it. And if you don't have it, write it down, shoot me an email. I will drop my emails in the chat, so you guys can send me a message if you have a question. And don't forget, you can message me on the actual community. I do not always check my community, but I do check my emails 3 times a day. I like to be honest. I check the community 3 or 4 times a week. So just wanted to give you guys that heads up. But the training tab is here. It's accessible. It gives you all the breakdowns from everything from full training, getting started, disputing, mailing, and attacks. So you literally cannot go wrong with figuring out where to get started, because we give you the flow. We simplified it because the last flow was a little bit confusing. So they simplified it for you. And you have all the training that you need to kind of watch and dip and do. Okay. If you're having a concern, a question, a problem, a situation, as my friend would say, you can definitely go ahead and click on the Contact Us tab. The Contact Us tab will go ahead and take you to our customer support team that is here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Why is that so important? That is important because if you have a question, concern, comment, we are here, and our back office is here 24 hours a day to go ahead and support you with whatever question you may have. And if they're not able to help you, they can allocate you to the right team that would be able to help, right? One of the things that I always post on here is the Loom option. Loom is a video system that will record the screen. So if you're having an issue with loading someone from one software to the next, or you're having an issue with a specific client file when it comes to documents, attacks, credit, subscriptions, anything, you can literally put it in. You can record the Loom video, and what the Loom video will do is record your screen, and you can show them what's going on. And then you can actually get a little share link option. And as soon as that link is viewed, you get an alert that someone has watched said video. So you don't have to be like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on, what's happening. You will already know that someone's in the process of working on whatever document or whatever issue you have in real time. So grab that link in the chat. Loom is a free product, so you do not have to pay for anything. I like to talk about free 99 options here, y'all. And you have the ability to go ahead and plug it in right here, so you can fill out all the information specifically about the client. If you have a specific question, like you want to be a part of the beta team, you want to be a part of press, you want to be a part of partnership, whatever it is that you have, you can plug it in, and the team will go ahead and get it to the dedicated party that will be able to support to make sure that y'all can dip and do. So any questions before I go and sign up for the platform on today? And welcome to the room, Sherelle, Brian. Hey, Mr. Clay. Hey, I think Mrs. Clay said, hey, Mrs. Clay. Welcome here. Hi, Miss Williams. So excited that you guys are here with me. And I see Zoom user, my love, I don't know your name, but hey, boo, hey, Zoom user, thank you for coming in here and being with me. Any questions before we dive in and get started? Oh, hey, James. See, I like that. James changed his name. James like, I ain't playing with you. That's right. I understand. I be tripping sometimes. Any questions before I actually sign up with the software? Hey, hey, hey. I don't see anything. All right. I don't see anything in my chat except for hellos, darlings. So we are going to go ahead and sign up for the platform on today. So on this platform, I am signing up as the owner of the account. So if I am also going to be doing my own credit, I would need to have a separate email address for me as the user. So one email address is the owner of the account. That's how I sign into the actual platform. And then once I load myself as a client, I need to have a different email address available. So let me see, what email address do I want to use? Queen Boulevard. There we go. We just gonna use some on the day. And you're going to put your phone number in here. Now, if you're doing this as a business, again, you can put your business information. If you don't, you can leave it blank. It'll automatically lump your name together as the business name. I will also show you in the back office where you'll be able to change it if you decide to transition from doing this for friends and family as an actual business. With that being said, I like to sign up for free things. So y'all don't know me yet, but y'all finna get to know me. Okay. I'm a mama 4. Okay. And I like discounts, promos, promotional offers, extra resources. I'm with it. I'm with it all. Okay. So I personally signed up for the email special offers, products, and resources. You guys do not have to. I definitely do because I like to see how I can save these coins so I can go ahead and invest it somewhere else. Okay. With that being said, once you fill that out, you'll get to this portion where you have the Dispute Panda service agreement. This is telling you how you're expected to do business within the Dispute Panda system and how you should expect business to be conducted from Dispute Panda's end. You will sign and accept. And then once you go in, this black bar will be here. Now, what you would have to do is log in to the actual email and go ahead and verify your email information. Best practices, I would always recommend to do that within the first 24 to 48 hours. However, it's not going to stop you from being able to get support if you do not do it right away. Okay. So I'm going to show you how we're going to get through this, even though I'm not going to verify nothing because that's a fake email address anyway. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to cover the dashboard. After we cover the dashboard, I'm going to go through the side panels and then I'm going to go into the settings. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to open up the room for any Q&As of what I've already gone over. And then we're going to load our client. And together, if you guys are by your computers, we can do the first round of letters together. Or if this is your second month or your third month, whatever, I'm here to help. And then after that, we'll open up a Q&A for any additional questions or comments you guys may have. Okay. So main dashboard, when you come in, at the top, this is where you can search for a client. You can also search for a client over to the left. On this, you can see the to-do list of any rounds, missing documents, birthdays that are available for the clients that are in queue. So I think it was Miss Famous who said it, or Miss Elizabeth, one of them was asking, does it give you the information as to when you're supposed to do your next round? If you guys have the guide is giving you the days. So it's saying day 1, day 35, day 7, day 105. Like it's giving you the flow of what you should be doing, right? So when you guys go into the actual flow, you would need to set a reminder for every minimum 35 days. The reason why is because per the actual law, when you complete a dispute, the guideline says that you are supposed to give the credit bureau 30 days to complete the dispute. If you do not give them 30 days, okay, then you send another round of disputes out, they are gifted another 14 to 15 days to go ahead and complete the original disputes that you gave, which means it's now taking that 30 days out to 45 days. So for best practices, you are going to count from when you mail the letters off. all too often I'll have people say that they printed the letters. So if you're not having the system mail the letters off for you, okay, and you're mailing it out yourself, you are going to start your clock the day you drop the letters off at the post office. Whenever it gets to the post office, that's your day one, because they need 5 days to get the letters, 30 days to work them, and then 5 days to get it back to you. Okay. So wanted to go ahead and make sure that that was clear as well. All right. So let me see. This bar is in my way, y'all. Hold on 1 second. All right. So this is where you are able to also see how you can upgrade to Dispute Panda Pro. Again, with Dispute Panda Pro, you have the secured client portal access. You get payment forms. You can integrate your merchant service. You have Zapier integration. You have the one-click import and the shareable reports, which I showed you guys a minute ago. That is on the client level as well as on the company level. Now we'll show you a sample of the company level as well. Do you have to certify them every single time? So if you're looking at the new attack flow guide, at no point in time do we have any certified mail letters that are going out. So with the new guide, you are not certifying. With the old guide, you did have to certify before. So when using the mailing feature for us, when are the letters mailed? That is a great question. I'll be able to show you that in 2 seconds so you can see when the letters go out. Great questions. I love this. All right. So you can upgrade. Also, I like to talk about shmoney, okay? Drip money, rain money, okay? We're going to talk about it. So if you guys are in this program, Credit Dyno is the credit monitoring software that has been created to capture the data points and information that works with Dispute Panda's AI system. With Credit Dyno, it's a little bit more advanced than the regular credit monitoring softwares that are out there for 2 reasons. Number one, it gives you the ability to get the full 7-year report for your client's file. So sometimes people be looking at the files and they'll be like, well, this person isn't late on child support right now. Yeah, you're right. In the last 24 months, they haven't been late. However, they have been late the whole time that they, or some point when they had the child support. So with the Credit Dyno actual credit monitoring software, you get the full 7-year report of your client's profile, which no credit monitoring software right now has that capability, except for when you go directly to the creditor, to the credit bureau, like myfico.com or something of that nature, right? So with that being said, you have that. The second thing is that you also get a free round of disputes every 35 days if you're using the Credit Dyno software. So you simply click the button here. Standard payout are $8. You can change the pricing tiers for the credit monitoring software and add additional features. And you can get payouts upwards to $22 for the credit monitoring sign up. Okay, so just keep that in mind, that even if you're just doing this to start, a great way to get started, get clients, and not have to pay for promotion is like, say, hey, get your credit, go ahead and grab your credit monitoring and I'll give you a free round of letters. So now you got them to sign up for the credit monitoring, you're making $8 just off the basic level, and you're not paying for a round of letters. And I promise you, if you send them the letters, especially if you guys are with Pro and you're sending them the letters for the creditors and the credit bureau, they're going to be like, okay, sis, let me sign up to your program because I don't want to mail out all these letters. Okay. But that is something that you can do to kind of get some clientele, some people in your email sequence or email campaign to get them moving. Okay. So that is covering the main dashboard. Down here is no more of kind of activities of what has happened throughout the process. As I stated, you can type in and search for clients up here, or you can click the client tab on the left. It will show your active clients, your inactive clients, and if you need to import from another software into this software, you have the ability to do that as well. All right, if you want to add a new client, you can add the client here. And if you have the Pro version, you would add the client's information here and click this button. It will automatically send them out the contract that you load in the system. If there's a payment option, they can do that. They will have access to the dashboard that they can upload their own IDs, their own payment forms. Their own IDs, their own payment information, so that they can get through the process all together. Okay, so I love, love, love that idea. Now, to answer the question for the letters. So question in the chat is, when adding a client info, nothing is sent unless that is clicked. That is correct. So nothing is sent unless you have the pro feature and you click the button. So if you just load the client in and you do not have pro, or you do not have pro, the client is just loaded in. It doesn't matter if you have pro or not. You have to have pro in order for this button to work, to send them anything. I want to make sure I'm not confusing. So this button is only applicable for the pro user. If you click this button and you do not have pro, it's not going to send anything out to the client. If you just fill this out and you hit save, all it's doing is loading the client into your software, and that is it, and that's all. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. The letter option. So this is the letter guide. So just for transparency, if you are completing the letter and you send it off to be printed and it's before 12 p.m. PST time, the letter goes out the same day. If it is after 12 p.m. PST time, it goes out the next business day. Okay, the only thing that is trackable are the certified mail. The first class letters are just like you taking the, y'all, I had a big box today. Just like you taking the envelope in the mail yourself and taking it to the post office, okay? So I don't want you to get confused or detached, but the system can do it. What if you're using Credit Karma versus Credit Dino? So I just want to be transparent. Credit Karma only gives you 2 of the credit bureaus. Credit Dino gives you all 3. That's number 1. Number 2, Credit Karma will ding you for different things, like if something is added onto the credit profile, like a comment or a statement or information, it can drop or raise your score when it really isn't applicable. What I always tell my clients personally is I have no problem with them having Credit Karma, but we are leveraging Credit Karma just to see changes because they update every 7 to 10 days. Great question. So Identity IQ still only gives you the information for the last 2 years. Credit Dino is giving you the full 7-year report, and you're getting letters. If you have the pro feature, you're getting letters that are going to the creditors as well. So it's completely up to you. If you want to use Identity IQ, you're paying $17 per round. If you're using Credit Dino, you're paying nothing per round, and you're making $8, and you're able to see the full 7-year report. So completely up to you how you want to pivot. I personally have had, I think I only have 2 clients that are on Smart Credit. Everyone else, I have two clients on Smart Credit and 2 clients on Identity IQ. Everyone else is on Credit Dino because I need to make sure that I also have the pro for myself. So I need to make sure that I can send out creditor letters. I'm very aggressive. I argue with the secondary bureau. So just to kind of give y'all that tip. But if you're using Identity IQ, the biggest difference between Identity IQ and Credit Dino is Identity IQ is only giving you the 2-year report, where you're getting the full 7 when you're using Credit Dino. Great question. The inbox. So this, of course, is a pro feature where your client can email you securely. The report feature. Let me go ahead and show y'all the report feature because I personally love this. So the report feature gives you the ability for you to grab this on not only the customer level, like I showed you before for posting, but on the company level. So you can actually post how many dollars you have gotten deleted from for your clients. You could show how much score increases you've had or total deletions overall, right? So you can take this, post this on your social media and be like, I don't understand why we're sleeping on me. Like, who needs a credit? Who needs a house? Who needs a car? Kind of like your Oprah. You get good credit. You get good credit, right? You're able to share that information. So that is a feature that comes with the Pro. The subscription tab is also a pro feature where you can create onboarding forms, payment forms. You connect your merchant service with this platform. And then, of course, you have the training and the contact us tab. So it takes you right back to the training module where you can go ahead and get all your information, watch the videos, or the contact us tab. When you click on this bar right here that says balance, it opens up the settings. I'm going to start from the top of the settings so we can go through all of them. So the settings information is where you can see your profile. So this is the owner's information of the actual profile. If you have the pro, you can put your photo in here so that when you send the client information, they'll be able to see your beautiful face and handsome face. Okay. If you decide to upgrade and turn this into a business, you can click on the organization tab. It gives you the ability to go ahead and put your logo in here, your company information, your address, and this is where you would put your actual contract. Does anyone in the room need a copy of the contract? If you do, drop an emoji, give me something. I'll go ahead and send it. Okay, someone sent me a private message. So there's a sample contract in there. I want to clarify that yeah, no problem. I wanted to tell you guys that when you guys are doing the contract, this contract that I'm giving you is a simple contract. You need to find out what is applicable for your state, okay, for your specific state. But you are able to add all that information in there. I dropped it in the chat. You guys can download it and grab it. And it's also in the community. So if you go to the community and type in contracts, it is available for you guys to actually download and get it. So you don't have to kind of like not know where it is. So if you guys are on your cell phone and not on your phone, like on the desktop, I don't want you to miss out since it's not gonna, it might not save to your phone. I was getting ready to ask that, can we add several contracts? So there's just one contract that you can put here. It's not several. However, you can have several payment plans, but just one contract in the software at this time. If you guys need more space for more contracts, I would say send a message to the back office because I'm quite sure they'll be happy to go ahead and see how they can formulate this, because this platform is being built out based on a lot of information that you guys give us, whether it's here online. I'm in a lot of the Facebook groups for credit repair, and a lot of the information that said like, hey, I can't get this, or I don't know where to start. That was why Dispute Panda came out with an actual attack flow so that you guys would be able to know, start here, round one, right? So the organization, you can put all your information in here. If you have a VA or you want to have a VA or your cousin is going to help you process, you don't have to give them your signing information. You can add them as a team member. It is unlimited. You're not flagged with that. And that way they can have their own email address to log in, their own password, and then they can help complete the disputes on the file for you. The affiliate link is for the credit monitoring softwares. These 4 credit monitoring softwares are the only ones applicable to the software itself. You can choose to keep them all on. You can get affiliate links from all of them. And that way, if you have the pro, the client will see all the options, or you can turn off whichever ones you don't want to utilize and just keep it at Credit Dino. So when they log in, they're able to go ahead and get everything that they need. So how do people that are licensed in different states have one contract if they're required different wording? So for transparency, to me, the most aggressive state is Kentucky has a price limit. So it's not necessarily verbiage on the contract. It's more verbiage on how much they feel you should price for credit repair. I believe it's Kentucky. California is the most aggressive when it comes to credit repair. So my contract mirrors more of what California has because it's more aggressive than what the state of Texas has. If you're wanting to have multiple contracts, you can get something called I think it's called e-signature. I'll go ahead and grab it. And what you would have to do is, in essence, give that contract, like create a separate contract for your states if you're going to be doing multiple states. Give me 1 second. Is it easy? Yeah. So it's e-signatures. They charge like maybe 50 cents for you to go ahead and get additional contracts if you want it. So if you're wanting more than what that contract is, that's how you would have to pivot, is kind of get something external. But right now the platform only has one. So my question that I would really have in this particular case, Ms. Clark, is number one, do you have multiple clients that are in multiple states? If that's not your situation right now, then I would focus on the state that you're in right now to be your main state that you are using. So it's MD. Oh man, this just made things more difficult. Again, what I would say is send a message to the back office. What you may have to do in your particular case is you would have to have those specific contracts. Letters and I have several clients in several states. So you would have to have those contracts on the side and kind of like pivot in and out for the clients that you're sending. But that is going to be a little difficult. So my recommendation would be to do the e-signature. It does give you a copy. It gives the client a copy. And that way you can have multiple contracts per state. And you just you can do a Zapier link to where it makes it where once that client loads in and that state is selected, it'll automatically send out that specific state signature request as well. So that is an option because when you get the Pro, you can link everything together with Zapier. And that way you can tell one system to do one thing once they get loaded in there. But congratulations on being a multiple state squirrel. I'm so excited. But yeah, I think that would be the best solution. So I did drop the link to e-signature until, and again, I would say send a message to customer service and see if there's a way for them in the back office to go ahead and make those adjustments for you accordingly. Now, the disputing option is where you can change the addresses for the credit bureau. So if for some reason you see that your letters come back or you're getting a lot of responses from 9706, you can come here because the credit bureau does have like 7 to 15 different addresses. So you can come here, make the changes and update everything for you. Can you dispute with CFPB and the credit bureau at the same time? According to this flow, you can do the CFPB. The recommendation is to do it at round 5 and to do it again at round 10. So you're not cut off from being able to do that. Great question. All right. Billing. So the billing, it gives you the ability for you to come here and you can add your payment method. I want to point out that the only payment method that should be here is you or your business's credit card, not your customers, not anything. Okay, so if you are putting a payment in here, whether it's ACH, credit card, debit card, whatever, you want it to be yours. So if you are having or you're helping your friends and family, you can sign up for the subscribe and save option, which gives you 50% more. It bills you $20 or $60 every month, and you get 50% more of what you ordered, but that would only go to your card. So if, let's say, you're doing letters for your cousin, she would have to give you the $17 if they're not using Credit Dino, and then you would have to put it on your card and then put the money in the bucket. Okay. Now, if you purchase by bulk, meaning you purchase not the subscribe and save, $100, $500, whatever the case may be, that is all that you're going to get is what you physically purchase. Okay. The invoice option is for you to see invoices of, if you're getting the Pro, invoices to clients and any statements. The activity tab is where you can see the attacks, the mail, and any attack credits. The integration tab is where you can link Zapier. So to Ms. Clark, if you have several state contracts, you could in essence say this contract, when a person comes in from this state, this is the contract that I need it to go out so that way you're covered in that particular space. Okay. And then if you guys have not done so as of yet, again, quiet money, drip money, you can sign up to get credits for anyone that signs up for Dispute Panda. So with that being said, it's not live right now, but I always tell everyone to hit the accept because once it goes live, you'll get an email with your link. And that way, anyone that signs up with your dedicated link. So if you are going to realtor conferences, if y'all are going to car dealerships, if you guys are going to brokers, wherever you may be, I've even done it with, like, when I go to the parent teachers conference and I have a conversation with them. I have the conversation over there and I talk to them. And if they sign up under me, I can get money. So it is supposed to go live again. So if you guys have not clicked that button, please do not hesitate to click the button now so that you have the ability to get into it. Okay. Great. So we have covered all of the settings. We have covered all of the tabs on the side. What questions do you have before I enter the dummy client? Any questions, guys? Oh, Miss Clark, you can come off of mute. What question do you have, my love?
Where is the live button that you just spoke about?
Live button, what, I'm sorry, I don't remember saying live.
You just said something about when the button goes live, when the whatever you were saying, you said something goes live.
I
Make
was
sure we
talking
click
about
the
the
button.
referral. So if you click on the referral button and you hit accept,
Mm-hmm.
it will allow you so that once it actually goes live, when they open back up the Dispute Panda referral program,
Mm-hmm.
you will
Okay.
get your dedicated code that you can leverage.
Oh, okay. So it's not, so you're saying that it's not live right now?
It's not live right now. No, I
Okay.
think the people who had already signed up, they closed it down. I was
Oh,
told that they should, yeah. So last year when the platform launched, that option was here, and whoever had it, so like I had it, a couple other people had it, they were able to go ahead and get people to sign up under them, and then you were making earnings from people signing up on your link. But the link has been closed down because of all of the edits that have been done and upgrades and requests that are going on. So that is why right now I'm telling everyone to sign up. So when they open it back up, you will get your link mailed to you, and then you can start inviting people to the platform, and you can make money off of those people that come under your link.
okay. How do we actually sign up? Because I'm in all the groups and stuff. So is it, and I'm already on the email list, so I don't have to do anything extra, right?
So if you click this referral tab and you click I accept, you will be put on the waiting list for when
Oh,
they open the
okay.
program.
Got you. Okay. All right.
Got
Thank
it?
you.
My
Mm-hmm.
pleasure, my love. Great question. Any other questions, guys? Does switching credit report changes up the dispute method and the process? It doesn't change the dispute method, because if you're working the flow, you're working the flow. The data points are going to be different. The coding might be different because you're getting more information on the credit dyno because it was made to be in partnership with Dispute Panda. But the process itself, the letters are what you're picking, right? You're getting more information with the credit dyno application. But I want to clarify that the method that you're using is based on the letters you're selecting. So the methods only change if you change the letters that you're selecting to go out, or if you're doing something in addition to. Pete, if most of my clients stay with my program for 3 to 4 months, do you suggest a more aggressive dispute flow? So for transparency, I tell my clients that they need to be with me for a minimum of 6 months. They get the coaching along with the letters going out, so they're able to come into Zoom rooms with me. They're able to ask questions on the credit report. I just for transparency, I have only had maybe 5 clients that have reached their goal within 3 to 4 months. I have not had, unless the client has liquid capital, are very light on collections and charge off, you're not seeing the pivot necessarily across the board within the 3 to 4 months. If you're asking for an aggressive flow, this flow is the most aggressive flow that we have right now. If you want to curate a flow, that's completely fine. But as far as how you're pivoting or kind of how you're working, this particular flow has, like I said, this particular flow I've been using for my clients for the last few months now. I have a client who signed up. She's now been with me for 45 days. We were able to get the bankruptcy removed off of 2 of the 3 profiles. So again, if you click the training, if you go to training and you click on the download the free guide, this is the actual guide that is available to you right now. Why is Experian the hardest one to get charge off from? Do you have a letter that specializes in charge off? There are letters that are curated, especially if you're using the credit dyno. There are letters that are specifically curated for everything that you have going on. So I don't want to get you guys confused. The flow of the letters that are being selected here are automatically going to be worded to fit whatever the credit report is saying. So although this says Punch of Fury Supreme boosted, it's going to curate the letters based on what my credit report says, and then curate a letter specifically to go with what my husband's credit report says, right? So if he has more collections than charge off, the verbiage is going to be surrounding the collections versus mine that I might have a budget charge off on, right? Do I have specific letters outside of the software? There's only like 2 letters that I've ever used, but again, I normally see a lot more movement on the paralyzed touch attack in round 6. How long does it usually take for you to remove a charge off? There is no usual time. Again, my program at minimum, I tell all my clients, you have to be with me for 6 consecutive months. If your client is jumping in and out of your program, please understand that that means that if they're gone for more than 60 days, they're going to need to give you 60 days to get that movement back, right? So I've had charge off removed at round 1. I've had charge off removed at round 20 and round 7, round 10. There's nothing, unfortunately, the best thing that I can tell you about credit repair is that there isn't a general consensus that you can say, definitely by this day, this will be off. It is a flow and everyone's file is different. Like I said, I have one client who she's been with me 45 days. I got bankruptcy off of 2 places. I used the same punch of fury with her that I used with another client that had bankruptcy, and that bankruptcy did not come off until round 9, right? So it all just depends because the bankruptcy court responded more. The other 7 bureaus responded to me with the requests that I had. So it made it a lot easier for us to go ahead and get things off. So again, it all depends on, are the creditors responding? Are the secondary bureaus responding? How quickly is that coming for us to kind of make sure that we're doing the movement as well? Great questions, guys. Great questions. All right. Ooh, I hope I didn't time out because, okay, cool. So yes, Ms. Clark, everyone is very different. Come on, somebody. She said, I've been doing this since 2017 and no one file is the same. I explained that until I'm blue. You ain't never lied, Ms. Clark. And I'll take it one step further. I've been doing this on and off for 19 years. Okay. I started out in the factual disputing space. I've learned the right way to do credit repair. I've learned the wrong way to do credit repair. And even so, no file, you can have 2 bankruptcies and one gets dropped like this and the other one will take 12 months. Okay. Where can I find? Okay. So if you click on the training tab and you click on free download, it will give you the actual attack flow that you are seeing right here. Okay. Great questions. Any other questions before I load my dummy client into the system? Since they dummy client, I load my test clients into the system, Stalling. Any questions, Stallings? My pleasure, Brian. My pleasure. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and load my test client in. Hold on one second. Let me find them first. Okay, so remember I said I'm going to load myself in as a test client. So with that being said, all of the boxes with the star is what has to be completed. That information has to be filled out. If you have a client that goes by their middle name, goes by their last name, whatever the case may be, you want to put it in based on how your client is actually physically writing their information, okay? So remember I said with the email, you're gonna want to have a different email address so that it allows the system to go through. And then when you're doing the address, guys, I want you to make sure that you are using the line here. If they have a unit, an apartment, a suite, that's going to go on the street address. But all of the other information is going to basically stick out in the lines that are requested. You're going to put their birth date in there. And then if you have the pro, you're going to select this option. It will send the link to them for them to go ahead and upload their own ID, sign the contracts, sign up for credit monitoring, and send them the whole shebang. If you do not have the pro, you just hit save and it will take you to the next screen of what you have to fill out. My client wants to join Credit Dino. How can I get them a free dispute with their account? So again, with Credit Dino, once you have their username and password, you automatically get a free round of disputes every 35 days. So if you hang in, I will actually show you exactly how it shows up on the screen for you guys, okay? Now, the proof of address. So I want to go over the proof of identification and address that's needed. This document is available in the training module. Every single training module that's out there, this information is accessible for you to view. And I also dropped it in the chat so you guys have accessibility to that as well. These are the documentation that the creditor, the credit bureau, and the third-party creditors will verify and accept. So if your client has a driver's license that does not match the state that they are in, guys, don't feel like you're stuck. Move on to something else on the list and give them the supporting document. When it comes to the proof of address, if you are using a utility bill with the current address on there, best practices is to get an updated bill every 60 to 90 days. If you are not using a utility bill, you're using a cell phone bill, you don't have to get it every 60, 90 days. You just get that one bill, you're good to go. Okay? But if you are using the Social Security card as a proof of identification, then you do not need to use it again over here under the other. You are only required to use these two segments. Okay, guys? That is it. That is all. So I'm going to go ahead and close this, and I am going to plug this information in. So, nope, bill. Okay, so this is the bill. I don't need all this information. They don't need to know if they had a pass-through balance, if they had carryover. It ain't none of, in the words of Tabitha Brown, ain't none of their business. That's their business. Okay, so you're gonna crop it down to exactly what you need. And the goal is to get all of the required documents on 1 to 2 pieces of paper. That is it. So if you have the ID and it's all big and funky, go ahead and crop it, yeah. Go ahead and crop it, crop and save. You're good to go. All right, in this particular case, I do have the Social Security card, so I'm gonna drop it in and we're gonna call it a day. Now, when you have the Credit Dino, you're gonna click this drop down, you're gonna select Credit Dino. You're going to grab the username and password that your client has provided you for the Credit Dino sign up. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to how at this bottom, this green box popped up, okay? So that green box is saying, okay, I can do the one-click import. You only get this, see how this thing moving disrespectful? Hold on, y'all. Okay, you only get this one-click import when every 35 days. That is it, that is all. So when you go into the system and you're physically coming here to look at the profile, you're trying to make sure everything is good, you would click this button. So think about if your client has Identity IQ, MyScore IQ, you have to log into those softwares, update the credit report, and then bring it over here. Over here, you don't have to do any of that. You just click the one-click import every 35 days. As long as the credit monitoring is on, you will get a free round of disputes. It will do this pop-up right here that tells you, hey, you have earned a free round of attack. You will click dismiss. You'll see over here on the side where the free round of attack is notated. And then there's an option for you to dispute. So before you can pick a letter for it to attack, this, you have to tell the system what exactly are you going to be disputing. Once you click on the dispute tab, I'm going to take you through what it kind of showcases. Okay, so the very top is going to be inquiries. If your client has public records, bankruptcies, judgments, liens, anything like that, it will show up under here, under the public records tab, okay? And then it goes into the accounts. From the inquiries, you will notice the system will not select any inquiries. This is something that you would have to manually do on your own. So you can do Control F or you can do Command F if you're on a Mac, and you would search all of these hard inquiries that are on file. What are you searching for? You're searching to make sure that there are no open and active accounts connected to the inquiries that are listed. If you have an open and active credit card that is connected to this account and you dispute the inquiries, you run the risk of that credit card being closed, okay? So when you're searching, you see how it has two names? I recommend that you search each side by itself. So you would do CRB, which is Cross River Banking. Once you guys have done this a little bit, you'll see the abbreviation like THD is the Home Depot. So you'll kind of see it and you'll be able to type it out fully so that you can search. But you would search both sides because as you can see, Cross CRB didn't pull anything up, but Seed did. And Seed pulled it up and said this account is closed. Okay, so I'm going to select this because the account is closed. I'm going to search OneMain. This isn't showing up anywhere. I'm going to select this option. Okay, Capital One. I like to type it out. Okay, so she has a Capital Open Sky. She has a Capital One, which is Charge Off Collections. So both of these, I can go ahead and dispute all of these that say Cap One on here because there's not an open and active credit card with any of them. When it comes to the public record, if it's impacting your client's score or impacting your client's profile, the system will automatically select it. There's nothing that you have to do. Unless you don't want to dispute it that round, you can choose to unselect it, okay? When it comes to the actual accounts, I want to go ahead and kind of take you in for you guys to see what's going on. So when you use the credit dyno, you can click on this eye icon. And when you click that eye icon, it will open up to the disclosure, to the account information. This gives you some great info that you can have a real heart-to-heart conversation with your client about their credit behaviors and what is truly impacting their scores, okay? So with that being said, when you're looking at, how did you get the part to pop up? So you can either do Command F if you are on a MacBook or Control F. And this bar, the search bar will pop up. Great question. So when you are looking, this is a summary of the account. So it's saying the account is still open. You can click on the payment history tab and you can have the conversation about the payment history. You can also see when they originally went late was in 2022. So payment history is worth 35%, which equates to roughly 192.5 points. Okay. So of the credit score, understanding the credit score starts at 300, max is 900 now, but ideally it was 850. To get to that 850 score, you need to make sure that you're impacting in these spaces, correct? So you're having a conversation with your client like, hey, if your payment history is only at 60%, you're not getting the full 192.5. So let's talk about how we can improve that moving forward, especially since it's an open account, right? So that would be the conversations you can have to them, talk about the due date, setting up auto payments, things of that nature. When you now get to account health, you can have another conversation, which is talking about utilization. Now, understand that utilization is 30%, which roughly equates to 165 points. So you have the baseline number of 300, you're adding the 192.5, and then you're adding the 165 when it comes to utilization. So if you're wanting to be in the 700 club, your utilization needs to be at 15% or lower, right? If you're wanting to be in the 800 club, your utilization needs to be at 7% or lower. Now, I want to clarify the difference between utilization and usage. All too often, people are like, well, how am I supposed to be able to do that? I can't pay both things. Okay. So number one, when we're looking at the total account, when we're looking at your activity, I want you to understand that the creditors want you to have the card and use it, because if you don't use it, what they're going to do? Lower the daggone limits, okay? But the credit bureau wants to see that you have the accounts and you're not utilizing. If you're looking to get like business funding, ideally your personal credit utilization should be no more than 30%. If you're looking to get a house, they want you between 30 and 43%, because realistically, the amount of house you can afford is going to be subject to the amount of debt you have. So they're looking at your income, they're looking at what you have to pay out, and then whatever is left is the only amount that you can afford for a home. So if we're having a conversation about what you're using, we need to now have a shift of mindset as to how are you using these cards. So for instance, my husband and I, we have credit cards, right? So I have one credit card that I use for all my household bills. My rent can get paid with it. My car payment can get paid with it. My cell phone bill, my food, my gas, everything comes out of this card. I leave the money in my bank account until this 2 days before my statement date. 2 days before my statement date, I go into my bank account, I pay the full card down or pay it down to about $100, okay? Now, that is showing the creditor, not only can I use this card, but I can pay it. It's showing the creditor when the statement closes, hey, this person is only using 4%, 3%, 5%, because I wait for that statement to close. Once that statement closes, I wait 2 days and then I go back and swipe the card to buy whatever it is I'm needing. I'm using the card to fund my lifestyle. So now if that card gives me cash back, if that card gives me airline miles, whatever that card gives me for me to be able to maneuver and for it to be beneficial to me, I'm taking advantage of that in my daily walk. So instead of me trying to balance everything, the card is paying the light bill on time. The card is paying the car insurance on time. The card is paying my cell phone bill on time, right? And then I make one big chunk of payment from my bank account to my credit card 2 days before my statement is about to close. So that way my utilization goes all the way down, even though 3 days or 4 days later, I'm gonna be swiping that card again, right? Now, if I'm having a conversation with a client and I'm looking at them and I'm seeing they're using 112, 120, we're gonna have a conversation on how to get them from being over the limit. Because again, they're not getting that 165 or anywhere close to it if all of their cards are over the limit. So this conversation that I would have with them would be like, hey, your credit limit is $11,600. We need you to make your minimum payment times 2 plus $4, because that will give you the breathing room that when interest hits again, you're not over your credit limit. Again, this is a conversation to figure out, do they want to save the card? Do they have the ability to save the card? And if not, what is that card going into charge off, collections? How is that going to impact you? And then what's going to be your plan of action once it gets there? So you want to have that full dialogue. So whether you're using this software, you're using Identity IQ, this is kind of what the curated conversation is going to look like when you're talking to your client to get them on board to raise their numbers. Transparency, I had a client pay down, I want to say 15% of their cards, and it actually increased their scores by 54%. 54 points, sorry, 54-point increase 1 month, one conversation, one consultation. And that's not even talking. We hadn't even started aggressively because my flow pattern is a little bit different. So we hadn't even started disputing. Okay, people. So that's why I say it's 2 dances. Yeah, I'm writing the letters, but your behavior is also going to impact what's happening on the back end. Okay. So the system has already selected all the letters for you. Now, to Mr. Twan's point, when you add a message here, this message is for any template that you want to put in here. It's not for a standard comment. So if you type in the late payment law that says 15,783 or something, I don't know what the law is, don't quote me, y'all, I'm just pulling some numbers. Let's say it says US. I'm putting this in here. What will happen is the system will only generate the letter for that is in this template specifically for this one account. So all the other accounts will generate the regular letter that I'm going to tell it to attack, but this is only going to print out that one, whatever it is that I wrote for it to generate. So if that wasn't happening for you, Tuan, I want you to take do a Loom video, send it to the back office so that they can check it, because that's what this comment feature, this message feature is for. It's for you to put your own letter that you have used before that may have worked, or if you wanted to do like a 1099 letter or something like that, that you can leverage into the platform here. If you choose not to use it, you just hit remove. It will generate the standard letters for everything across the board. All right. Once you have done that, you can hit save and the system will automatically take you to the attack flow. Now, based on the current flow, The first round of letters that I should be sending out is the Punch and Fury, Supreme Boosted. If I have the Pro, I will be selecting the creditors. I will also be sending out the letters to the secondary bureau. I will be sending it handwritten, and it does not have to be certified mail, not in color, and it is single-sided, not double. Okay. So I would come back to the system. I will hit start new round. Excuse me, I'll do Punch and Fury. I will check the box for handwritten. I would check the box for the Pro to generate the creditor letters if I have the Pro. And then I will hit Supreme Boosted. I will select Start and then type Confirm. This will take that one free round of attack out of my attack pool and generate the round of attack for my client. Now it says that I'm supposed to do the static letters. I will hit Start Round, go back to static letters, select handwritten. I personally scroll all the way down, and then I start checking off the secondary bureaus. Okay. I'm checking off the secondary bureaus. You have to have at least $1 in the system. It will generate these letters for free for you. You just hit start round, and then it will generate another letter for the secondary letters to the creditors. Now, once you've done that, let me go ahead and exit out. Oh, before you do that, someone was asking about the stall letter. You would come into the static letters. You would go to stall, you will check the box, and you would put in the date that you sent out the last round of letters, and then the system will generate it. If you have the Pro feature, you're able to put in the last round of attacks that you sent out so that the stall letter and the attacks go together to that creditor. But you would come here, hit this. If you want the system to mail it out, you would come here, click mail out. It stays on first class. You're going to switch from double-sided from yes to no. It doesn't have to be colored. And then you tell the system, okay, I'm going to pay 33. So if you don't have the money in there, you just hit cancel. You load the money onto the card. You come back to the client, and then you finish the mail out, and you're done. The system will mail it out. So if it's after 12, it's not going to go out till the next business day. If it's before 12, it'll go out the same day for you. So we have officially completed our first round. Now, if you are not using the system to mail it out, you would just click on this download option. You would download the letters, print it out, and mail it out for you. Okay. You get to see the history of the letters that you have. If you told the system to mail it out, you will get a letter ID. If it's first class mail, it gives you an estimated date that it's supposed to make it there. If you sent it certified, you will get the tracking number under here. Again, you don't have to send it certified, but some people still like to do that. You're able to see the credit score, the report. You can see that's under the history tab. You can see any invoices, and then the notes are for stuff like, let's say you have a file that has bankruptcy on it, and you also sent out letters to the bankruptcy court. You sent it out to the other bureaus. I think it's still 5 or 7, a couple of bureaus that handle bankruptcy information as well. And you can put the note in there like, hey, I did this also. So that when you speak to the client again, you can ask them, hey, have you heard back from the bankruptcy court? Hey, have you heard back from this person? And that way you're not kind of losing your train of thought because you have everything notated on here. So we have literally gone through loading a client, completing the first round, showing you what the mailing system looks like. What questions or comments do you have so far on what I've shown? The letter ID is for when you are sending the letter out in the system. It will give you basically a code that lets you know that the letter has been printed. And then it will also give you on the next side, it'll give you an estimated date of when that letter should reach the whatever department, whether it's the credit bureau, the creditor, whomever. So that's just a code for your letter, so you know your letter has been generated. Great questions, Pete. Any other questions, guys? Oh, you can come off mute, Miss Clark. What questions do you have?
It was funny because it accidentally sent to somebody in the
In the
in the
group? Got
thing.
it.
Yeah. So my question was, you had said something about handwritten, and I was like, wait a minute. Oh my God, I haven't handwritten a letter in a long time, like years. So it's a thing to handwrite letters. I've heard this, but has there been anything proven, like any data proven, like would there be a difference as opposed to handwriting letters again and typing them and printing them? Like,
So let me clarify, you don't handwrite anything. Systemically, the system generates 10 different handwritten fonts and sends it out for you.
oh,
So you're not remember, the system is doing everything for you. So you're not doing a handwritten font. The system is selecting the letter and generating it in a handwritten scripts type or block letter type for the software. So you're not handwriting anything, my love. The system is doing
Ooh, girl, my fingers started hurting as soon as I said, as soon as I
it. No, ma'am.
I was
No,
like, hold up,
ma'am.
what? Okay.
Get somebody else. We get somebody else to do, aka the system. Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Thank
So
you.
you don't have to. My pleasure. P says, where can I type in the letter ID to see the updates on the mail? So you don't type anything in, my love. The letter ID, if you click on history and you go to letters, the letter IDs will be coded right there for you. So you're not going anywhere to type it. It's automatically coded in the system once it has been assigned. Do you like to select handwritten every time? So you follow the flow chart. The flow chart has you do handwritten round 1, round 3, round 5, round 8, so on and so forth. So I'm not selecting it every time. I'm selecting it based on what the actual guide is telling me to do. Great question. Can I see a sample of credit dino letters versus standard blue? So I don't have a sample letter that I can show you because all of the letters I have would have my client's information on them. But I want to clarify that the difference between the credit dyno are the types of letters that are in the flow. So you would have to physically look at the old flow versus a new flow. So I can drop the old flow in the chat for you so you can take a look at it at the old flow because it's just different types of letters. So in the old flow for the blue, you did have a Punch of Fury Supreme Boosted, but it was only in round 5. If you were using the red, you didn't have the Punch of Fury as an option. You had a different one.
Does it have this?
So
I'm just not to cut you off because I use those attacks,
Mhm.
but I haven't used the credit dyno
Mhm.
attack. So would that be more effective letter to use if we had credit dyno, or should I get my clients to use credit dyno better where we can get like more
So I
deep?
want to clarify, Credit Dyno is not a letter. Credit Dyno is the credit monitoring software that is being used with
Right.
Dispute
Yeah, I
Panda.
understand. Right. I
Okay.
understand like will the verbiage be different, or like for example, having credit dyno versus say for example, identity IQ. Will using the flows from Credit Dyno be a lot more effective using Credit Dyno versus an
So,
Identity Q or another credit monitoring service?
so 1 second, I want to clarify something. The credit monitoring software, the difference between using the Identity IQ and the Credit Dyno are the data points and the information, because with the Dispute Panda is tracking all of the information of every letter that's sent out from the people that are using Credit Dyno. So systemically, the system is processing and seeing we got off these amount of repos, or we got off these amount from these specific letters, right? They're able to, in tandem, look at each other and basically help curate the next round of letters that are supposed to go out for it to be a little bit more detailed and a little bit aggressive. But I want to clarify that the flow is not a credit dyno flow. The flow is based on the letters that are printed. So I want to make sure that we're clarifying. The flows are based on, are you picking the red, blue,
Right.
white, black,
Mm-hmm.
or are you using the new flow that has the Punch of Fury and the round kick? I want to clarify that the old attack had Punch of Fury, the old attack had round kicks, as you can see on my screen, The
Right.
difference was that this particular process that we gave you in the past did not tell you when to do the CFPB complaint. It did not tell you when to send out letters to the secondary bureaus, which were what people were asking for. So the
Okay.
letters are still the letters. Whether you use Credit Dino, you use Identity IQ, you use Smart Credit, the letters are still going to go out based on what you're picking. The trackability, or for us to see how we should pivot, is more in depth when you're using the Credit Dino credit monitoring, because
Substance.
we can monitor the data points from the letters you're selecting. So
Right.
whether you're using the red attack, the blue attack, it doesn't matter. Am I
Wow.
making sense?
Yeah, it does.
Because Credit Dino is like Smart Credit is like Identity IQ. That has nothing, that the only thing that you're getting the benefit from, and when I say the only, the reason why you want to use the Credit Dino is you're getting the creditor letters. Number
Right.
one, that's going to be included if you have the pro. So I want to clarify. If
Mhm.
you have the pro, you're getting the creditor letters. If
Mhm.
you do not, you're just getting the regular 3 credit bureaus, and you're able to still do the static letters because now you have a flow on how to include them. But as far as the letter type, you can have Credit Dino and you can still use the blue and the red attack from before.
All right, one more question.
Uh-huh.
Say, for example, I was using the red attack. I'm on round 9, just for
Mhm.
example.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, well, you know what? I like the substance that I like the more I think Credit Dino gives a more they have more substance in the attack. It gives you attack everybody at one time, right?
No, the letters is what tells you what you're attacking. That's what I need to clarify. The letters you pick is going to tell the system how aggressive I should be disputing from one file to another.
Well, yeah, okay.
Not the credit monitoring. So I want to
No,
clarify.
not the credit. No, I'm on the letters. Now I'm on the flows now.
Okay.
I was going to ask you. So if I decide to say, you know what, I like Credit Dino better. I like the flow better. I like the credit monitoring better. Plus, I like, they want you to do the creditor, based on the file. Can I start off at the same round if I
No.
start with Chronos?
No. So I
No?
want so what you're saying to me is I like the flow that is with the new round of attacks. Is that what you're saying?
Right,
I
right,
like the flow and how aggressive they are
right.
with the new flow. That's fine. Whether you're with, so let me clarify. Whether you're using Credit Dino, Identity IQ, doesn't matter. If
Okay,
you're saying I'm going to use the new flow, you're going to start off at round 1.
okay. Oh, and no matter where you started off last.
You're going to start off at round 1.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So whether you're using Credit Dino as a credit monitoring, Identity IQ as a credit monitoring, you're saying, wait a minute, I want to try the new flow that has been proven. It doesn't have any certified mail. I don't have to worry about that. And it's telling me when to do a CPB complaint. Cool. I'm gonna use this flow. You can use this flow. You're just not going to get the additives that you would if you were using Credit Dino as the monitoring software. Now, you can have, so let me be clear, you can have Credit Dino, because I have clients that have Credit Dino, and I'm still using the red attack with them.
Red attack, yeah, okay.
I'm still using the red attack with them because I know that this red attack, when I have, for me, if I'm having clients with a lot of like collections and charge offs, I'm sticking with the red attack. I,
Right.
however, have a different flow system. So I still don't send nothing out certified mail. Let me just be honest with you. I don't ever send out nothing certified mail. And when I did send out things certified mail, I only did it in round 3 and I did it again in round 6. That is it. That is all.
Okay.
Okay. So you don't have to, I don't want you to get stuck at, oh, it's because of Credit Dino. No matter what credit monitoring software you have, you can pick a flow and you can work it. What I will suggest is if you're jumping from one flow to another flow, you want to start back at the top, because the flow that is created is to go from a different set of sequences as to how we're communicating to the credit bureau, how we're communicating to the creditor. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want you to get lost in the weeds. I want you to make sure that it's clear. So no matter which flow you're using, my recommendation is if you're going from one to the other unless you are tracking. And I'm telling you guys, I know a lot of people who've been seasoned in the game and they don't track.
Yeah,
So
I track
if
my
you're not
days.
tracking, you can't tell me, huh?
I track my days.
What you said, my love?
I track the days.
So I'm not just talking about days. When I say, I'm talking about tracking the accounts in its totality. So when I'm looking at profiles for my clients, I'm tracking what names got deleted, how many charge-offs I got from one particular letter. Like I'm tracking, like not just my days, but what is the information that is physically on that report for that particular client. What did that last round of attack do for me, or did it do for me when it comes to my client? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the days are good, but so the reason why I like Credit Dynos, because Credit Dyno's already tracking that stuff for me. Using Credit Dyno, because of the data points and because it's meant to work with Dispute Panda, it already knows, like, okay, so we've sent out these amount of letters and this verbiage works the best. So we're going to restate this verbiage in this way because we've seen this move for this client. That's what the benefit of having the Credit Dyno, because it was made for Dispute Panda. Versus when you're using Identity IQ, the letters are just generating, and they're just generating based on what's on the report, like what's been pulled in. It's not checking the back things. It's not really curating as detailed as before.
That's what I wanted to ask. Yeah, it's giving you a full, like a more
robust,
more substance. Yeah, it's getting you more substance with Credit Dyno because it's integrated with the system. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
You got it, my love. And you get a free round attack. Hello, let's talk about it.
Yeah, and a free one.
Look, I like free. You know, I'm gonna tell y'all about free all the time, honey. Free, 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 free.
Thank you so much, Raquel.
My pleasure, my love. So Famous says, does the specific letters get better results than the others? For example, the one-sided. So I think it's a method of attack. I'm gonna be transparent, y'all. I don't follow the rules. I send all my stuff double-sided. But that is because I'm physically printing. So if I'm at home and I'm physically printing, I will double side, and I have a black and white and I have a color printer. I use interchangeably either one. Excuse me. I also fax my letters and I mail my letters. I fax, mail, and upload my letters to the credit bureaus that can go. To me, I don't feel that there's necessarily, I do feel that when I do the paralyzed attack, when I do that attack, I always do it single-sided. It does get them pissed off. I don't care. They'll be okay. But I do personally with my tracking, I have not seen a difference single-sided or double-sided. Again, I also fax my documents off. So it's kind of going to get there however it gets there. And I also mail it. So that was a great question. I saw the hand for Twan. What questions do you have, my love?
You kind of just answered partial of my question and concern, but one of my biggest things is to know is how do one, I guess, find their preference of the attack flow. So with the red or the green, the red or the blue.
You have to make that decision yourself. That's why we came up with the new flow, because that was the question that we were getting. Was, should I do red? Should I do blue? All the methods worked. And to be quite honest, what I would do was, if I had a client who was going to be with me for the long haul, like they let me know, Raquel, I'm going to be here until I get my scores the way I look, until I get my file the way I need it to buy this house. Then I was doing the efficient flow, which was the blue flow for them. But if I had someone that was coming in and they were like, hey, I just need to get to this particular number, then I was doing the most effective flow, which was the red flow. So to me, I have the conversation about time. The reality is, I tell everyone, you need to be with me for 6 months. Do they stay? I don't know. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But if you're not consistent within that 6 month time period, it's going to be a little sketchy for me to get everything that we need and for us to meet and have those dialogues, right? But as far as the flow goes, because everyone was asking, do I pick red? Do I pick blue? Do I pick black? That is why we came out with the new flow, especially since people were asking the same questions when it came to, I don't know when to send a letter to the secondary. And some people were doing CFPB complaints at round 1. You can't do a CFPB complaint at round 1 because you don't have enough proof that you've been doing what you said you're supposed to do, right? So if you're wanting a flow, my recommendation is going to be pick one, follow it through. You can't keep jumping back and forth as a ping pong if you're not tracking what got off 1 month, what got off next month. Has there been no movement? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Now you hit a fine point because you said that you know you have variable options as far as how you get your letters out. So use fax. And back in the day, I used to be notorious with fax, and I thought they kind of taken the fax away, especially Equifax. And then you said you also upload, and I'm notorious with the upload. And I just took a chance to upload my puncher Fury
Mm-hmm.
to Experian the other day. I'm back testing it to see what results, what maximum results that I can get from it. But I was just, taking a chance and risk to see if I can get some results, because normally they say if you dispute online, you don't get the great results, or you kind of like remove your rights to
So
sue.
they were talking about when you're doing it to a third party source normally. So if you're generating these letters and you're uploading it to Equifax, it's the same as if you're mailing it. So for me, I mail my letters. So I want to make sure that I'm clear. I mail every single month my letters for my clients. I also fax and I also upload. It's not either or, it's all of them because I'm very aggressive with how I do it. If I can find the company's fax number for the creditor letters, I'm faxing that stuff over too. Does that make sense?
Got it.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
So
Now,
it's not either or, it's all of them.
all of them. Yeah, I used to do the same thing. So now you also fax to the credit bureaus because they took their fax numbers away, right?
Some of their numbers work and some of them don't. I do test them weekly. Right now, TransUnion is the only number that is consistently working for me. But I still put the way that I have my system set up is as soon as I do the dispute, I put it in my G file, and it automatically is connected to Zapier and it sends the fax out. So if at any time the fax does work, there was like one time 2 weeks ago that Experian worked for me. I was like, well, thank you God, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. And it went through. But sometimes the fax numbers work. The only one that has been consistent for me has been TransUnion.
Well, I'd like to get their fax number from you if you don't mind.
I'm actually gonna drop the fax list in the community tonight. I'm gonna make sure that I drop the fax list. So if you guys want to use it, you can. Like I said, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but it's just a part of my method that I do it every single.
Okay, cool. Now, when you're, well, this is my last question.
No problem.
Now, when you're filing a complaint with the CFPB, and I guess you put your statement and your concerns in, and they say upload the actual document proof, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you uploading the entire a credit report and the dispute together? Because sometimes it'd be like 13 pages.
Yeah, I give them what they asked for. Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time uploading all of them documents.
Try compressing the file.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
try
cool.
compressing the file.
All right.
Great question. All right, we got another one in the chat. So basically, it works better with Credit Dino. To me, it takes out a lot of the tracking that I have to do. I personally like Credit Dino. And again, I like to lower my overhead. I know how much I'm paying for my systems. I know how much I'm paying for my VA to help me. I know how much I'm paying my daughter to send stuff out. So wherever I can make sure that I'm cutting my overhead is definitely where I'm going to try to manage that as much as possible. Thank you for answering all my questions. I appreciate it. I just started Dispute Panda after being in the industry for 5 years. And I started with 11 clients this past month to try it out, just trying to learn all the tips and tricks I can to be most effective. I am just about to start round 2. Okay, great job, Peter. I'm sorry, Pete. Famous said, thanks. Will we get an email notice for training on Saturday? So if you guys have signed up for my training class on Saturday, you will get a notice, but it is not just Dispute Panda based. So my training class is going to go over a full flow. My training class is going to go over setting up a perfect file, what that looks like. And day 2, we're covering business credit. So if you sign up for my program and you register, yes, you will get the information for the class on Friday and on Saturday. Great question. Hey, Mr. S, I see you pulled up in the room. What question you have, my love?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. So I have a client and something weird happened. We sent out a goodwill letter, and for whatever reason, it got sent back to him to his home address. Does that usually happen?
No.
No. Okay. I mailed it out from the system, and
Okay.
for
Did
whatever
they take a
reason,
picture of, did they take a picture of the letter?
yes, I have it right here.
Okay, and does it say that it was supposed to go to the company, or was it sent to the client in the
Yeah,
to
so it has his in the upper left and then the company in the middle in the right.
okay. So it was probably just an error by the post office, my love.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
have them go ahead and resend it. You can have them go resend it out.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much anything that's everything's pretty much on track right now. And
Great.
then as far as your class that you're having, if we're unable to do it due to like work schedules and stuff like that, can we see that at another time?
So the last class I had a replay. This particular class is not. So we're building it out. It's coming with a full course. So if you do purchase it and you're not able to meet the live class, the video, the actual full class video will only be available the following day. So it'll be available, Friday's class will be available until midnight on Saturday. And then Saturday's class will only be available till midnight on Sunday. And then the videos are going to be cut and inserted into the course. So if anyone wants to buy the course later, you can choose to buy the course, but you won't get the VIP recording of the questions with the accountant or the business funding strategist. You won't have that recording. That will only happen in live or on the replay for the 24 hours.
Got you. And as far as I know you talked about the templates and stuff like that, and is that additional or that's separate? Or does
That's
that come
in the
with it or
course. That's in the
it'd
course as
be
well. Mhm.
okay, so we can purchase the course at a later time with all
Mhm.
of that? Okay,
Mhm.
awesome.
And I'm gonna be doing the program over and over again. So we're gonna, like I said, I have the events. So if you guys follow me on social media, I have events. I think I'm doing a Toro class in June or so. I'm doing a DIY credit repair class. So you guys can actually see all the information there. But yes, so if you want to purchase the course separately, you can. The course does come with bonus information and it does give you access. But you wouldn't be able to get the some of the exclusive things that'll happen during the live taping. But great question. Any other questions, guys? Let me see. Thank you for coming, Mr. S. I'm so appreciative of you pulling up on me. Mr. and Mrs. Clay, y'all good over there? I love it. I love it. I got pandas in the chat. Okay. Any other questions, concerns, or comments, guys, while you are here? If you don't have any questions, let me go ahead and stop sharing. Ooh, why my kids running down the steps like they ain't got no sense? Lord, y'all gonna break the floor. Miss Clay says she good. Okay, y'all don't get to hear. He played football. Okay, I'm surprised he ain't tumbled down the stairs the way he came down here running like a big fella. You coming to catch something? He talking about, am I okay? No, I felt the world shake just a minute ago, y'all. Like it said boom, 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 boom. Y'all didn't hear it? I thought it was an earthquake. It was like a good 3.7. I don't know. a good 3.7, y'all. No, but I am looking forward to Friday and Saturday. I'm so excited to have this accountant that's coming on because I definitely have a bunch of questions. All of those that went to my last workshop, don't forget to answer the poll in the Facebook group because I want to make sure that I'm asking questions because of course I'm going to take snippets and we're going to be dropping them throughout different social media platforms so that some questions that you guys may have may be able to get answered and you guys will see it on the platform. So I'm so excited. And then the mentorship group is going to go live in April. Lives. Yes, it's going to go live in April because I told my mentor I was going to do it. So my mentorship course will go live in April so you guys can have monthly meetups with me. I think I'm going to do it twice a month that we're going to be able to get in the room. So if you guys have questions, comments, any new tactics that I find that have been working that I've tested out, I do share. Because again, I want everyone to be a beast in these credit streets, just in case y'all were wondering. Other than that, I'm going to say thank you for coming on board. No other questions. I was just trying to make the time run so y'all could have, just in case y'all had a question. Because you know the earthquake happened, y'all. The earthquake was my son Caleb. The earthquake happened. I got a little shook, y'all. I got a little shook it. Any questions, guys? Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you guys for being so amazing. Thank you for pulling up on me tonight. We'll be back on Wednesday. And for the pro people, we'll be here on Thursday. Thank you for all you do. And I hope you have an amazing week. Okay. Bye, guys.